Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Thank you for always coming back, it means a lot to me. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Today's video is a super exciting one because it is a personal slash fitness Q&A. Never really do personal Q&As, but it was so requested in terms of just like my past, my present, my future, sex, periods, relationships, Ben, life, money, what I earn, etc. You get the idea. So the other day I put a ask a question on Instagram. There's loads of questions on there, and I also put it on a post which I have next to me. So I'm going to go through and find the questions. Some of them are quite similar anyway, but I'm going to go through and I'm just going to go into it. Okay, the first question. How did you get to where you are? Where did you start in the fitness industry? And what was the toughest challenges you faced? Okay, so we have like a triple question. How did you get to where you are now? How did you start in the fitness industry? So I started posting on Instagram probably about 2.5 to 3 years ago when I was at university. So when in my first year of uni, I basically had a really tough first year. Mentally, there was loads of things going on, and I also had very disorderly eating after I was a swimmer. So my transition from a full-time swimmer, competitive athlete into none was a huge shock to my system, and I ended up being very underweight, and I was trying to put weight on, and it was just very difficult for me. So the reason I started to post on Instagram in the first place was for my own accountability, so I could see my progress week on week and how I was doing. I then started posting workout videos, and 3 years ago, Instagram wasn't as saturated as it is now. Saturated, it means like the market's super busy, there's loads of things on Instagram, social media is huge. And 3 years ago, I just started getting more and more followers, and it started to grow pretty rapidly. And then I started YouTube 2 years ago, and it kind of did the same thing when one of my videos absolutely flew. And then from then on, I just stayed so consistent until I was in my final year doing my dissertation. That's when I started working on the My Coach School, My Coach with Ben, X, Y, and Z. That's how that side of the business started. Instagram at that time, maybe it was on like, last year, 70k, and now I'm like 340, so it's doing super well. And that's how I got to where I am now. Consistently working hard, working on what I believe in, my passion, my business, the My Coach School link below. Instagram, YouTube, being consistent with when I post, what I post, my ethos, which is to empower women. I feel like that's a bit of a intense first question, but we went there. What do you want to achieve in life? That is a intense question. In life, I want to be extremely happy. I want a loving family, a loving husband, kids. Obviously, that's something I'd aspire to have, like, for myself. But I also want huge things to happen for my business. So I want the school to grow significantly. I want to do events. I want to do seminars. We're looking at bringing out an app. And I think having happiness makes you successful. Like, I don't just want like success, money, because you would draw yourself into the ground and you'd probably be a pretty miserable person if you just focused on money. I want pure happiness, and I want to continue to change people's lives, which is what I do now, helping thousands of women, whether it's physically, mentally, whatever it is. I want to continue to do that. That is like my purpose. I feel like why I was born. Okay, I finally addressed my low mood and depression with multiple GP consultants, 2 stints counselling, try medication but managed better after health, self-care and vitamins. Winters are still difficult, but I'm more confident. I just struggle socially at times because I've been so used to being isolated. It affects my ability to build new relationships and friendships. Is that even a question? Let's just discuss that as homies. So I love that question. So I actually went through a really difficult time at the start of the year and last year with my anxiety. I've always had elevated levels of anxiety. I went through a really rough time at the start of the year where I did feel pretty depressed and super down. And I isolated myself quite significantly. Obviously, I'm with Ben, so he was super supportive throughout the whole thing. But I understand where you isolate yourself, you just want to be on your own. The best thing to do is obviously just talk to your closest friends. You don't need to pop yourself in social situations all the time. You don't feel like you need to go out all the time and things like that. But just like seeing your closest friends, even seeing your family a little bit more, spending time with people, chatting to people in that environment just when you're around people. Maybe uni, work, just kind of going out your way a little bit more, not loads, but a little bit more, just like, hi, how are you? Like, sit and have a coffee with someone. Like, whatever it is, you don't need to jump in and go to a massive social event and things like that. I didn't do that straight away. Didn't really go out much. I didn't like going out. I was nervous to go to the gym. But you just build yourself back into it. You don't just jump in at the deep end. And then mindset stuff is amazing. I did CBT, so cognitive behavioural therapy, which was incredible as well. Just having someone to talk to weekly is obviously an amazing thing to do. But that's like my biggest advice on that. Tips for getting those shredded abs. Okay, so first things first. For ab definition, or to your abs to show, so physically having them show, depends on your body fat percentage. It's very different genetically where you store your body fat. So I don't store mine upper body or stomach. I store mine on my thighs and my underbutt. I have like a double butt, underbutt, thighs, thicker thighs, and I don't store it here. Some people do, and it depends on your body fat percentage. To lower your body fat percentage, you have to be in what we call an energy deficit. So a calorie deficit through food, an energy deficit through training. So you're eating fewer calories than you're burning on a daily basis. You can go below to the link, and you don't even need to create an account on my coaching school. There's a free calorie calculator for you, just so we can give you as much help as possible, so you know what you need to be eating in terms of how many calories you need to be eating to be in a deficit on a daily basis. Obviously genetically, in terms of how your abs look, the shape of them, so mine obviously, like, they're very symmetric. Some people have like different ones like this. Mine is super symmetric, and that's why you can see them a little bit more as well, and they do bulge out a little bit. In terms of training them, I only train my abs for core stability and literally core strength. I don't do it for the purpose of having my abs to show. Like I said, it completely depends on your body fat percentage, and that's all I'm gonna say with the abs. That was asked quite a few times, so I addressed that one pretty straight away. How did you meet Ben? This is a fun question. Oh, Aussie coffee is so strong. So me and Ben actually met at a fitness convention in London, I think 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago we actually met, and we were pretty much like best mates for like a year, and I started working with him. Come here for a second, please. Come when he's working. So we met there, and then we've been together for, it'll be like 2 years next March, April time, which is really cute. But that's how we met. Obviously we have so much in common. He is the love of my life. Yeah, no, he's perfect. It's like one of those things where when you know, you know. When you know, you know. I knew straight away. The next question actually leads into this. How important do you think sex is in a relationship? So I think it's obviously important because it shows how much affection you actually have for somebody. Obviously you can show affection in different ways. It's a very strange topic to talk about actually. I haven't yet thought through this question through properly. No, I don't think, like, when people say like if you don't have sex at all it's a really bad thing, and there's like the whole spectrum of having too much, but it's just between a conversation you need to have between you and your partner if you're not in a happy place with it. I mean, I'm happy in my relationship in terms of that side of things, but I think what this girl was trying to say is they don't really do it, and in that circumstance it's just about communication. You just need to talk to your partner, guy, girl, whoever it is. You need to say to them, look, I feel like this, do you feel the same, do you think we need to do something X, Y and Z, if it's making you unhappy. If it's not making you unhappy, probably don't need to bother. Do you have a useless talent, and if so, what is it? Ben, do I have a useless talent? I don't, do I? I don't. A useless talent? What's a useless talent? I I don't think I have a useless talent. I can't, maybe I'll come back to that. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. If you're experiencing a low swing in your depression, how do you keep that from affecting your romantic relationship, i.e. shutting your partner out? This is actually something that I really struggled with when I had anxiety. I realised that Ben was trying to help me, and I didn't think I needed help when I was anxious. So I was like, no, I'm fine. And I got a bit like, I got so upset about the whole situation all the time, and it did shut him out a little bit more, which is what I hated to do. And what I realised I had to do was actually communicate with him how I was feeling when I was really sad, when I wasn't feeling great, and he was super understanding. So I think talking and communicating and trusting that they're going to understand what you're saying to them is massively important. I think that's like up there with the top one. And then also just doing fun things together, going on date nights. Bye. Going on date nights, going on movie nights, spending time together. If you're feeling a little bit low in yourself, maybe take yourself away from the situation, go for a nice walk, come back, have a chat. So it's just about understanding each other and each other's emotions. Really important. How much do you and Ben earn in 1 month running your business? We earn enough to be in Australia for 6 weeks. I don't want to give an exact figure because I feel like it's against data protection. I wouldn't tell you anyway. But we're doing super well as a business and as individuals and as a couple. And we're so happy with what we're doing. We're really happy with where we are in life at the moment. We've just nearly hit 20,000 members on the My Coach School, which is just incredible considering we restarted the school in January. So that's literally 12 months of like hard work and graft. Make sure you check out the My Coach School below. But yeah, I'm obviously not going to give you a direct answer because you know. How do you train on your period? Does it not hurt? Okay, so period, there's also a question on contraception which I'll cover as well. So in terms of my period, I don't get periods because I have the the Depo jab, which is the jab in your bum cheek every 3 months. I used to be on the coil, which caused me ridiculous amounts of stress and pain, and I absolutely hated being on the coil. So when I was taken off that, I still never had periods, and then I went on the injection again, never had periods really. It's kind of like every 3 months you just go and get a jab in your bum. I still get super bad period pain. I don't know why, considering I don't actually have periods themselves. And when I do, obviously it affects your mood, usually in the last 2 weeks of your menstrual cycle. I will take myself on a walk. If I'm in super bad pain, I'll go for a walk, get the body moving, get a bit of movement, get the blood flowing, get some fresh air. I could walk on a treadmill at the gym, or I will reduce the intensity of my session by around 40 to 50%. So I'm still getting something done to the extent that I can do it without putting myself in too much pain. I just like getting out and moving. It always makes you feel better. You get a bit of serotonin release, dopamine when you do exercise. So I would always recommend trying to go. If you physically can't, I just get a hot water bottle, go into bed, up your hydration, get some vitamin C, get some good greens down you. Don't have coffee as well, that makes period pain much worse. Okay, I'm only going to answer a few more questions. What are your 2020 main goals? So, out development for the My Coach School. I really want to grow on YouTube. I absolutely love making YouTube videos. Subscribe. No, so YouTube's super fun for me to do. I want to do events with Ben and the My Coach School. We want to do more talking events, seminars, traveling, retreats and things like that. So there's some of the huge goals that I have for 2020. Have you seen any changes in your body since going to Oz and eating out lots? Not really, because we've been triple active. So at home, I do like 10 to 12,000 steps a day because the weather in the UK is pretty shocking. It's raining and it's cold. In Oz, it's beautiful, it's hot, it's sunny. I do like 15 to 20,000 steps a day. So because I'm moving more, it's not necessarily that I'm eating more food, but I'm also moving more. So my energy deficit is still pretty small. I'm probably at like, I I haven't been tracking, which has also made me so much happier, but I'm probably at like 1,900 to 2,100 a day. Completely depends on how I'm feeling. But they were so random questions. They were so random. I feel like they were quite personal though, talking about like sex and periods and stuff. I never ever would do that. But here I am talking about it. I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you did for more videos, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.